Welcome back to Likros. We are working on Parshas Vayeitze, and we find the Torah says Vayivga b'makom. Yaakov Avinu reached a place. It's talking Yaakov Avinu is moving around to the parsha, and he reached a place. Now the Gemara in Brachos says, and it's also Medrash Rabbah, that tefillas avos tiknum, the Shemona Esrei that we say every day 3 times, was set up by our forefathers. Avram tikin tefillas shachris. Avram was shachris with the pasuk. Avram Avinu, the Gemara quotes a pasuk in Torah that he went early in the morning to the place where he stood. And this word that says in the Torah that he stood means that he prayed Shemona Esrei. Yitzchak tiken tefillas mincha. Yitzchak is the one responsible for mincha. Pasuk says Yitzchak went out to the field, to speak in the field. And the Gemara says Sicha here means tefillah. Yaakov tiken arvis. Our pasuk, it's not talking about Yaakov Avinu physically getting to a place. It means that Yaakov Avinu was the one who instituted and prayed Mariv. And this word Pgiya means tefillah. So to understand the words of Chazal, that Amida, Vesicha, and Pgiya, these 3 words that are used by the Avos, that really it means tefillah, it's a big surprise when you think about it, because really we would never translate the Torah that way ourselves. We would say Amida means he stood there, and Sicha he was speaking, and Pgiya means he reached a certain place. And really we find that this is true many times in the Torah. The Torah says something physical, and Chazal switch it to something spiritual. There's a Gemara in Sotah that says, Ein ish ala Kodesh Baruch Hu, based on pasuk. And that also is hard to understand. And we might think, Chas v'shalom, it's not true. Many, many times in the Torah, the word ish means a person. It's not referring to Hashem. So why does the Gemara say a phrase, Ein ish ala Kodesh Baruch Hu? Always, it seems, from the words that ish refers to Hashem, it's just simply not true. So to understand that, we need some help. The Rabbi Yismach Moshe explains that Chazal are hinting to us an idea of the Shla, that the language that we have, Lashon HaKodesh, that we're trying to understand, and we call people with their name, this is not really his name, it's just borrowed. His name is really whatever it says in holiness in Shammai. And this is based on a pasuk in Mishlei. I will say to them, my spirit, that there's the spirit, pasuk Mishlei, and hints that really there's the ruchnias, which is important. And that's what's called, and that's really what a person's name is. And that's really what's being referred to many times in the Torah. And so that's what it means when Chazal say they're changing something from physical to spiritual, that they're saying what's the basis of the language. And they're saying the other way of looking at it, don't look at the physical, that's really the borrowed definition. Really, the language of Lashon Kodesh is shaykh to its spiritual side, and it's just borrowed that it's used for the physical side. And therefore, that's how we can understand this, that the standing, speaking, or reaching a place is really tefillah. That's its spiritual side. And the way that it means just standing or speaking or reaching a place, that's a borrowed use of the language. And that's a tremendous rule to help us understand the words of Chazal. And the Gemara in Brachos has a question. Was the tefillah instituted by the Avos, like we've been explaining till now, or was it really parallel to the Karbanis instituted presumably later, parallel to the Karbanis? No, it's the Rabbi Yismach Moshe, they're both words of Hashem, and really they're trying to explain the same thing, he claims. Because normally we assume that day follows the night, like in the creation of the world, Vayihira, Vayivoker. And therefore, if day follows the night, means night comes first, so it should be Avram be Matakin Mariv, and Yitzchak Shachris, and Yaakov Mincha. It's not what it says. It says Avram Shachris, and Yitzchak Mincha, and Yaakov Mariv. Why is that? But the answer is Keneged Tamidim Tiknun, because by the Korban, by the world of Korbanis, it works the other way. The night follows the Korban. The day is the time, the active time when you do most of the Avodah Beis HaMikdash, you do the Kabbalah Saddam, the Zrikas Saddam, and the night that follows is connected to the previous day. So in the world of Kodshim, first you have day, then you have night. So therefore, that's why when the Avos Matakin, first you have Avram and Shachris, Yitzchak and Mincha, and only then at night that follows the day, Yaakov at night. And really, Avos Tiknum and Tamidim Tiknum work together as one idea.